Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Making headlines this morning as the United States is finally getting back to normal, why COVID-19 problems in other countries could eventually cause problems here at home.
Outside with live cam, calm now, could be a whole different story in the next 24 hours, and it is about as humid as it can get out there. Good morning to you. We've made it to Wednesday. It is April 28th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Boy, you're right about the humidity.
Really?
Right when I stepped outside, I was like, ooh.
Oh, you can't miss it for sure. We had some showers in the area yesterday and into last night. In the overnight hours, Mike Osterhage, fairly quiet.
Yeah, everything that was left over when I got into work an hour and a half ago or so has pretty much gone. There's nothing on radar as of right now, but we'll see, maybe a shower here and there this morning, a little mist and drizzle, and then more showers later on this afternoon, and another chance for some potentially severe storms. Now, nothing going on out there as of right now. Maybe a couple of damp spots on the roads. We do have some fog to deal with out in, especially in the hill country. Rock Springs, 1.5 mile visibility, 3 Junction, 5 Uvalde, and 7 in New Braunfels. So we're just going to have to watch out for a little bit of this fog to form up this morning. Moulds High, Pecan is on the moderate side, and throughout the rest of the morning, like I said, maybe a shower. Temperatures are pretty much going to stay steady with the cloud cover and all this humidity out there. A couple of showers going to try and develop later on this afternoon, and storms, especially out to the west late this afternoon. It is going to be breezy again today. Winds out of the southeast 15 to 20 miles per hour. And once again, we do have the risk, and pretty much right along 35 is the slight risk. That'd be a 2 on a scale of 1 to 5 for potentially severe storms. High winds and large hail are going to be the biggest threats with this, and also there's the chance for some pretty hefty downpours in portions of the hill country, and that's going to be, again, starting way out west late this after about dinner time and then throughout the evening hours. After that, we do have a front moving on through here. It's not going to completely take the rain out of the picture, not necessarily a bad thing as we go in toward the weekend. Details on that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Steph, Mark?
Thank you very much, Mike. WellMed will resume administering single-dose shots of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine starting today. WellMed was just one of the many healthcare providers that paused operations after patients who received the vaccine reported some complications. Our Stephen Cavazos is live outside the Elvira Cisneros Senior Community Center, where doses are expected to be administered. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Well, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, along with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, had actually put a pause on the vaccine after 6 cases of thrombosis and low platelet counts. But both agencies have determined that the J&J vaccine is safe to use and operations should resume. And again, that's going to be happening today. Now, take a look at your screen. Administrations will be happening here at the Elvira Cisneros Senior Community Center and at the Alicia Trevino Lopez Senior One-Stop Center today. Now, the lines open at 8 this morning and will remain open until 8 in the evening, 7 days a week. Now, appointments can be made by calling 833-968-1745 or made online. Now, the healthcare company does have 1,945 J&J doses available for the community. Now, the FDA and CDC, of course, will continue to investigate any of those potential risks from the J&J vaccine. But once again, they have said that it is safe to use. The FDA has also said the benefits of the vaccine outweigh any of those potential risks for adults that are 18 years or older. Of course, this information is always posted on our website at ksat.com. You can always head there for more information. Mark, Stephanie.
And turning the coronavirus, the latest numbers for Bexar County. Health officials announced 137 new cases and 1 new death, and 270 remain hospitalized, with 78 in the ICU and 49 on ventilators.
Now that people who are fully vaccinated can officially take off their masks outside in some situations, we're slowly seeing things to return to normal here in the U.S.
At the same time, other countries are now worse off than before. As CNN's Camila Bernal reports, COVID-19 surges around the world could present a major threat to U.S. recovery efforts.
As the U.S. celebrates progress in the battle against COVID-19,
more than 67%, 2/3 of our seniors, are now fully vaccinated.
There's a renewed focus on helping those abroad.
The hard truth is none of us are safe until a vast majority of people are vaccinated.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says getting the world vaccinated is a matter of national security.
As long as that virus is replicating somewhere, it's going to be mutating. And if it's mutating, it could come back to bite us.
The U.S. making plans to release 60 million stockpiled doses of AstraZeneca vaccine to other countries.
We want to make sure that the vaccines that we have in our possession, or will soon have in our possession, are safe. So the FDA is reviewing that. So we're still a couple of weeks away from that.
And joining international efforts to send aid to India, where an overwhelming surge in cases has led to drastic shortages in much-needed medical supplies.
We are sending immediately a whole series of help that he needs, including providing for those remdesivir and other drugs that are able to deal with this and prevent, in some cases, but help recovery. Fighting this virus.
I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Here at home, a grand jury has indicted a Bexar County jailer who allegedly assaulted an inmate last year. Detention officer Eduardo Sanchez has been charged with aggravated assault by a public servant and official oppression. If convicted of assault, he faces up to life in prison. The alleged assault happened back in May of last year. Prosecutors say they found evidence showing Sanchez striking Hector Lopez, an inmate, while he was on duty. Sanchez will not be placed on administrative leave, and Sheriff Javier Salazar says he will move to fire Sanchez.
A segment of Northwest Side Highway, commonly referred to as Dead Man's Curves due to frequent crashes, is set to see some safety improvements. Several changes have already been made on Prue Road at the request of Councilman Manny Pelaez, and more are on the way. So far, white lines on the sides and a yellow center line have been added in both directions between Springtime and Cedar Park to better define the curve and travel way. There's also new signage in the area warning of the road's curve. We're told Councilman Pelaez has also requested city staff to look into guardrail extensions and new traffic signals in that area.
And time now is 4:37 and about 74 degrees right now.
Still ahead, a first look at President Biden's new education proposal that could be a big relief for young parents.
Plus, can the Spurs keep the win streak alive? We're going to have a preview of tonight's game against Miami Heat.
Watching and waiting on what could be an interesting evening and overnight hours here in South Texas. Mike will get us updated on that severe weather potential coming up. It's now 4:40. Good morning. President Biden getting ready for his first address to a joint session of Congress where he's expected to unveil a sweeping child care and education plan. The bill would provide free preschool for all 3- and 4-year-old children. The president also expected to call for free community college for all Americans. He also wants to make the temporary extension of the Affordable Care Act permanent. That would allow millions of Americans to pay lower premiums during the pandemic. White House says the plan could cost $200 billion, and to pay for it, the president will call for raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will deliver the Republican response.
A federal appeals court in San Francisco has ruled that plans for 3D printed self-assembled ghost guns can be posted online without U.S. State Department approval. The 2-1 decision was made by the 9th U.S. District Court of Appeals. The court overruled an injunction issued by a federal judge last year. Authorities have concerns about the increasing popularity of ghost guns, which generally lack serial numbers that can be used to trace them. A ghost gun was used in last week's shootings in San Diego that killed 1 person and wounded 4.
Iranian attack boats have once again harassed American warships in the Persian Gulf. This time, Iran's Navy came within 68 yards of one of our ships. Happened Monday night, according to a Navy spokeswoman. One of the U.S. ships had to fire warning shots. That prompted Iranian vessels to back away to a safer distance. This was the second such incident involving Iran's Navy this month in the Persian Gulf. On April 2nd, 4 Iranian ships came within 70 yards of 2 Coast Guard cutters.
And on Monday, our San Antonio Spurs produced their highest scoring game of the season, and with it a win in overtime against the Wizards in Washington, ending their 8-game win streak. So now they will try to keep the wins going tonight against Miami. Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. at the American Airlines Arena.
Good luck on the road, guys. 4:42 on your Wednesday morning.
And have you gotten the new iPhone updates? This time it's more than just fun for users thanks to added privacy, how the company is putting the control back in your hands.
And we'll tell you why a popular cooking website is announcing it will no longer feature recipes with beef.
And Welcome back. It is 4:44. The popular cooking website Epicurious says it will no longer feature recipes with beef over concerns about climate change. ABC's Kaylee Hartung has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, where's the beef? Epicurious, one of the most popular cooking websites and apps, announcing, we've cut out beef. Beef won't appear in any new Epicurious recipes. The shift solely about sustainability. Its editors explaining, we think of this decision as not anti-beef, but rather pro-planet. It's an effort to change eating habits.
It does signal that Epicurious is taking climate change seriously. This could give them some support from these socially conscious consumers.
According to the United Nations, nearly 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions come from livestock, and cattle are responsible for the majority of those emissions. Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more reaction to this culinary game changer. And will other food websites follow Epicurious's lead? With your GMA First Look, I'm Kaylee Hartung, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Apple iPhone and iPad users finding out the latest software update offers more than just new Siri voices and new emojis. Has something called App Tracking Transparency.
It's a major shift in privacy policy. As 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz explains, it gives users a lot more control over how much information is shared.
Apple users now have more privacy power at their fingertips. With the iOS 14.5 update, users will begin to see prompts on their screens when they open an app, asking for permission to track your data that's often sold or shared, for example, to businesses that then use it for targeted ads.
You've always had an option to make a similar move if you went into your phone's privacy settings. But you had to know that it was there and you had to go seek it out. It was an opt-out. Now the tracking is going to be opt-in.
Tech and privacy expert Thomas Germain says it's a major change.
I think a lot of consumers don't realize the extent to which they're being tracked.
He says the shift will disrupt Facebook and other companies that specialize in tracking what you do across the internet.
We're not just talking about your name or your address, your location information. There's your credit card purchases. There's the things that you browse on the internet. There's personal health information that sometimes gets swooped up into these systems.
While the Apple update may help people's privacy, it could also hurt businesses, especially small ones that rely on data to find customers. If you answer yes or no to an app about tracking your information, but then you change your mind, you can always go into your phone settings and change it. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
I'm a pretty black and white guy. Yesterday, Steph and I were talking about this privacy update, and I said, I don't want them tracking me for any reason. But Steph had...
I was like, hey, I like these ads.
You like the targeted ads.
Yeah, I mean, especially, I guess maybe I'm looking at running websites and they, show me some new gear. So I've gotten some good stuff.
Right.
But
to each his own.
Yeah, but honestly, if I see like a pop-up, I'll probably not look at it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I got it. Mike Osterhage has...
I was going to say what's really weird is when... Wait, I'm on this side now. I got to look that way over there at you. Anyway, what's really weird is when you're in a store and you look at something, just look at it, and then all of a sudden there's an ad.
See, this is the stuff that freaks me out.
Yeah.
And sometimes I test Facebook, so let's think of something right now, like something nostalgic, maybe like...
cotton candy.
Big Wheel. Remember Big Wheel we used to have? All right, so we're talking about it now. Let's see how soon it pops up in an algorithm, okay?
Mm-hmm. We shall see.
Anyway, beautiful view of the moon. Couple of days past full. Nice shot. Somebody had enough of a break in the clouds, obviously. Still got lots of clouds hanging around here this morning. There could be a damp spot here or there on the roads. We didn't really get a whole lot of rain. This is going back 12 hours on the satellite and radar loop, and there were some showers out there, obviously, but there was a pretty good lid on the atmosphere, which never really, things weren't strong enough to just break through that. It does look like it's going to be a little bit better chance to see some of those heavier showers and thunderstorms later on this evening. And some of those are going to be developing already by about dinner time, well out there to the west. And the whole trend, once again, will be primarily into the hill country. And that's where, as we go into the late night and early morning hours, showers and thunderstorms out here in the hill country. We'll have a few of them in and around town. But again, pretty much if you draw a line from 35, right along 35, north and west of there is where the majority of the rain is going to be. Some of these leftover showers tomorrow morning, and then even throughout the day tomorrow, we'll still have a couple of leftover showers. And as you notice on Friday, this down here along the coast, there's another, and this is just kind of popped up with a lot of computer models, another low which is trying to develop down in Mexico and is going to kind of sneak up in here. And that's going to keep some rain chances around in our forecast, even through about late Saturday. Won't be a constant, rain won't be a washout, but we'll still have that chance for some rain as opposed to just a clear sunny weekend. So here's the slight risk for the severe storms. It's the northwestern half of our viewing area, right along I-35, includes San Antonio, New Braunfels, the northwest corner of Atascosa County, and then the marginal risk to the east of that. Now, a lot of lightning, hail, and high winds are going to be probably the biggest threats with this, golf ball or bigger sized hail, and some heavy rain, especially in the hill country. So that's what we're going to have to watch out for. There's also, can never completely in a storm system like this rule out an isolated spin up of a tornado or two, but it's not very, very likely. And then again, the heaviest rain is going to be in portions of the hill country. And we're looking at maybe about 1 to 3 inches on average, perhaps some isolated amounts that are going to be heavier than that. And that's going to be more than, now, granted, you get a thunderstorm, going to have a brief heavy downpour, but that would be the better chance for the more widespread heavy rain in parts of the hill country. 80 today at noon. A couple of showers here and there are possible. 1 or 2 sprinkles this morning, not a great chance. And then more thunderstorms are going to be developing out to the west late this afternoon and then working their way to the east. And again, most of it will be northwest of I-35. That's the kind of the broad brush explanation of it. Tomorrow, then we are only at 80. There's a front that's going to move through here about mid-morning or so. So that's going to get rid of some of the humidity, knock temperatures down, and we'll still keep a couple of showers here and there all the way through about Saturday, and then it looks like it's really going to be heating up first of next week.
I always get worried when things don't completely come together like they did maybe overnight last night into this morning, that people are going to let their guard down going into tonight.
No, don't let your guard down when we say this. I mean, nothing is ever, certain when you're forecasting into the future.
Sure.
But, and it is dependent upon certain factors all coming together. The factors are that cap, that lid in the atmosphere is probably not as strong tonight as what it was last night. So, no, please do not let your guard down.
We'll keep our eye out again.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. 4:52 on your Wednesday.
And coming up next, Billie Eilish announcing her upcoming album, plus fans of a popular show on Hulu will not have to wait any longer for new episodes.
Pick 3 numbers, 384 Fireball 5, Daily 4 1784 Fireball 8.
Cash 5, 7, 11, 13, 22, 34. And your Mega Millions, 15, 22, 30, 41, 42, Mega Ball 25, Mega Plier 4. Good luck.
There are new episodes for a popular series on Hulu, plus Billie Eilish getting ready to drop her second album.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
I ask for justice.
Your 2-year wait for new episodes of The Handmaid's Tale is over. Season 4 hitting Hulu today. And star Bradley Whitford tells me even though the show is dark, the mood on set is actually really light.
It's so bizarre that on this show, which deals with such operatic agony, it really is a joyous atmosphere, which I think allows us to do our best work. I believe that.
The first 3 episodes of the season are out today with a new one to follow each week. Britney Spears wants to talk. That's the message the singer's lawyer conveyed to the court Tuesday afternoon in a hearing over the conservatorship that controls her affairs and finances. No specifics on what Spears wants to say when she addresses the court, but the judge set a date for the appearance, June 23rd, in downtown Los Angeles. Billie Eilish won acclaim and Grammys with her first album. Now she says her second album will drop July 30th. It'll be called Happier Than Ever, with the title track out tomorrow. And happy birthday to Jessica Alba. The actress and lifestyle brand mogul is 40 today, while the Property Brothers, Drew and Jonathan Scott, are 43. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
And time now is 4:56 and about 74 degrees right now.
Still ahead on GMSA, President Biden preparing to address a joint session of Congress for the first time. We'll tell you what he's expected to unveil regarding his child care and education plan.
Plus, good news if you own a Fire tablet. We're going to tell you which of Microsoft's popular apps will soon be available on Amazon's popular platform. That's ahead in Tech Bites.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
President Biden is set to make his first speech in front of a joint session of Congress. Amika Jachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, details about his child care plan.
Outside with live cam, very, very humid. The storms did not materialize overnight tonight, but Mike says it's a whole different ball game potentially as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning.
Hi, good morning. It is Wednesday, April 28th. Thanks for joining us today.
Happy
hump. Humid.
Yeah, very humid. Happy hump day. Let's go straight to Mike and get an update on those storm chances. And again, this could be a late night event, you said?
Yeah, they'll start to develop late this afternoon out in the hill country way out to the west and then start working their way across. And it's primarily going to be, and we'll show you this in the Storm Prediction Center, the outlook for the severe potential, but cut the viewing area in half along I-35. Northwest of there is going to be the best chance. First of all, it is warm. It is humid out there, 74 degrees. I mean, that's about what it is at the warmest normal low temperature in the middle of summer. And look at that dew point down to 69 right now. We still have a little bit of a breeze out there, so that's helping to keep any fog really at bay. There are a couple of reduced visibility spots, but not too bad. 88 for a high temperature today, so it is going to be warm and it is going to be humid. About 10 above. We'd actually held temperatures down a little bit yesterday, upper 70s, but it's going to be warmer today. The aquifer did go up 0.3 of a foot yesterday. And allergens, mold high, moderate pecan, a little bit of oak is showing up. And talking about some of the visibilities right now, again, it's not bad out there, but there are a couple of spots, and just watch it for it to get somewhat thicker. Out in Rock Springs, 1.25 miles visibility right now, 7 Kerrville, 6 Eagle Pass, 4 in Del Rio. And out to the west, again, right along 35 is where the greatest threat for severe weather is later on, late this afternoon and then going into tonight. That's the slight risk, kind of a 2 on scale of 1 to 5. And then the marginal risk heading on out to the east, that little band right there. And high winds and large hail are going to be the biggest threats with this. Also, some heavy rain potential is there in portions of the hill country. Now this morning, even though nothing is showing up on radar, just a sprinkly shower or two is going to be possible, 1 or 2 of them here and there. Very warm and humid, a few showers, and then a couple of thunderstorms will start to develop, like I said, out to the west late this afternoon. And some of those may be severe with heavy rain out in portions of the hill country. And tomorrow, through the weekend, actually, a couple of showers are still possible. 1 or 2, maybe a thunderstorm here and there. It will be a bit cooler, but we'll still have that rain change. We've got another little disturbance which is going to be sliding on in here, kind of coming in here from the south, and that'll keep some rain chances around through maybe about late Saturday. All those details, closer look at the first couple of days of May coming up in just a few minutes. Traffic authorities, Samuel King is in the house. Good morning, sir. What's going on?
Good morning, Mike. This is a look at 281 at Hildebrand this morning. There was some sign work overnight on 281 between 35 and Basse, but as you can see there, traffic is moving well here this morning here on 281 and Hildebrand this morning. Looking at the maps, we do have a crash on the board. This is on Fredericksburg Road, very close to the medical center area. So watch out for that if you are commuting there early this morning, just after 5 o'clock. Also have some slowdowns on 35 southbound, just approaching New Braunfels and State Highway 46. So that's something to look out for this morning as well. But your travel time coming in from New Braunfels to downtown San Antonio right now is 26 minutes, 29 minutes from Seguin on I-10, 24 minutes from Bernie this morning. And we'll have another update coming up. Mark, Stephanie?
Thank you, Samuel. Late breaking news now. San Antonio police say there were very few words, but lots of gunfire. In the end, a man lay dead in the middle of a neighborhood street.
Katrina Weber is live at the scene of that murder in the 500 block of Sterling Avenue. That's near Martin Luther King and Interstate 10. Now, Katrina, have you found out anything yet?
Well, police have told us that there is a man here who was dead, possibly in his 40s, possibly homeless, according to officers. They say that people here have seen him around the neighborhood before. But let me give you a look at what's going on right now. Police have marked off several pieces of evidence. We can see numbers as high as 7, some of them shell casings from that shooting that happened right around 4 o'clock this morning. Police say the man who was shot was walking along the sidewalk, according to witnesses. There was a dark colored vehicle, possibly an SUV, SUV that pulled up, and they say soon after the man leaned into that vehicle is when someone inside started shooting, and they continued shooting as they drove away from the scene. The man was hit at least once, and he did die from his injuries right here at the scene. Police, again, have been going around the neighborhood talking to people, trying to find out whatever they can about the person responsible for this shooting. But that is the information that they so far have received from some of the people here. Reporting live on the east side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. We know you'll keep us updated. Later this evening, President Joe Biden preparing to address his first joint session of Congress. Among the items he'll unveil, free daycare and free community college.
He also plans to make the temporary extension of the Affordable Care Act permanent. The cost $200 billion to cover President Biden's wants to raise taxes on the wealthiest Americans. ABC News' Ika Jachi is in Washington with the latest.
This morning, President Biden is preparing for his first address to a joint session of Congress as new details emerge about a sweeping child care and education plan he's expected to unveil. ABC News has learned the bill will provide free preschool for all 3- and 4-year-old children. The White House says the average family would save $13,000. The president is also expected to call for free community college for all Americans. And he wants to make permanent the temporary extension of the Affordable Care Act, which is allowing millions of Americans to pay lower premiums during the pandemic. The White House says the plan costs $200 billion. And to pay for it, the president will call for raising taxes on the most wealthy Americans and investors. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will deliver the Republican response to Biden's address.
Thank God for there is unity in our diversity, and I hope to talk about that a little bit tomorrow night. God bless you. See you soon.
The president's joint address to Congress will take place under heavy guard. Fencing still remains along the perimeter of the Capitol following the January 6th insurrection. Before the speech, Biden is expected to meet with Capitol staffers who were there during the riot. The White House usually keeps one cabinet member in a secure location while other members attend the speech. But because of the pandemic, only a few cabinet members will be on Capitol Hill tonight. President Biden's plan to pay for his domestic programs faces fierce criticism from Republicans. They feel stiffer taxes on corporations and investors will be a job killer. Ika Jachi, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home in San Antonio, Johnson & Johnson is getting a second shot at protecting people from the COVID-19 virus.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, along with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, recommended a pause after a few patients who received the vaccine reported complications. Stephen Cavazos is live outside the Alvira Cisneros Senior Community Center. And Stephen, will this be safe for people to take?
Hey, good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Well, the FDA and CDC have determined that the J&J vaccine is safe for people to use, and they're going to continue to investigate any of those potential risks from this one-shot vaccine. However, the FDA has also said the benefits from the J&J vaccine will outweigh any of the risks for adults that are 18 years or older, and operations will resume today. Take a look right there on your screen. This will be happening at 2 locations. The first here at the Elvira Cisneros Community Center, and at the second at the Alicia Trevino Lopez Senior One-Stop Center. Now, the lines will open at 8 this morning and will remain open until 8 this evening, 7 days a week. Appointments, of course, can be made by calling 833-968-1745 or made online. Now, the healthcare company does have 1,945 doses to administer here in San Antonio. For more information, you can always head to our website at ksat.com for more information. Mark, Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephen. Early voting has come to an end in the May 1st city election, and so far early numbers indicate a huge turnout. Number of people voting early for this cycle far outpaces the amount of 2019's city election by more than 28,000. On the ballot race for mayor, 10 city council seats. You can find a sample ballot, more information at ksat.com. If you didn't get out to vote early, don't worry. Election day itself is this Saturday, which is May 1st.
And time now is 5:08, and it's about 74 degrees out there.
Still ahead, Dell doing its best to stay ahead in the laptop biz. We'll take a look at their newest computer meant to rival Microsoft's Surface tablet.
And over the past year, many people have had to deal with sickness, violence, or anger. Coming up next, we have some ways that can help you recover.
Outside with Live Cam. We're going to be right back. 12 minutes past the hour. Good morning to you. Welcome back. Over the past year, many Americans have been exposed to things like sickness, violence, and anger, if not directly, then through social media or stories you see.
And it can all take a toll on your mental health. CNN's Mandy Gaither has advice from health professionals on how to cope when it gets to be too much.
From the pandemic to mass shootings and racial injustice, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not alone.
Even just us regular people just sitting on a couch listening to these stories are actually having the experience secondary as if they were involved in the trauma.
Cheryl Ziegler, a Denver area therapist, says it's called vicarious trauma and can trigger troubled sleep, increased feelings of depression, heightened anxiety, fears, and anger.
It really is impacting our mental health, but because it didn't happen firsthand, sometimes people aren't connecting that all of this trauma going on around us is actually impacting us to a really significant level.
To cope with all that you're seeing, Ziegler says to identify the source of your feelings and think about your past.
When you have a sense of your own trauma history, you know your vulnerabilities to things that go on around you.
From there, Ziegler says to find ways to reduce stress, like deep breathing. Try to distance yourself from those feelings by exercising and get support from others.
That could be through connecting with others who maybe talk about other things or bring you joy and don't, necessarily bring up these stressors. It could be professional help if you find you're really going through some anxiety or depression.
For many, the past year has been filled with a lot of emotions, so vicarious trauma can be long-lasting, each exposure accumulating inside you. But Ziegler says simply knowing this type of trauma exists, that others experience it too, can help. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Don't lose hope. Right now, 5:14, about 74 degrees.
And still ahead, a first look at Dell's newest laptop PC that could be a rival for Microsoft's popular Surface computer.
Plus, thanks to a shortage of hospitality workers, one restaurant offering employment to robots.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we are expecting showers later this afternoon. Right now, it's just 74 degrees and very humid. We'll be right back.
Truthfully, it's frustrating to see how fast dust reappears.
But dusting with a cloth is a pain.
And dealing with a bulky vacuum is such a hassle. Ugh. So now, we use our Swiffer sweeper
and dusters. The fluffy fibers, they pick up dust easily, grabbing it in all those hard-to-reach places. Gotcha.
And for our floors, Sweeper's textured cloths lock all kinds of dirt, dust, and pet hair. Unlike my vacuum, it sneaks under and around places. Look at that.
Dust-free and hassle-free.
Stop cleaning, start Swiffering.
That's amazing.
Going back to the place we love.
I got him.
With endless summer nights.
He's walking.
Comes alive. I don't need the rain when the sky is blue.
Celebrate all the moms in your life with sparkling gifts from Pandora Jewelry.
Just about 5:18, Dell has introduced a new laptop that could rival the popular Surface Pro 7. ABC's Mona Kassar Abdi has details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Dell has a new 2-in-1 laptop making it easier to work from home. The latest Dell Latitude Detachable could rival Microsoft's Surface Pro 7. It can be used as a tablet or laptop and is equipped with high-def web cameras and noise reduction for video conferencing. For the first time, Microsoft's Office and OneNote apps are available on Amazon's Fire tablets. The Office app combines Word, Excel, and PowerPoint into a single tablet app. Microsoft says the release was timed to coincide with the new Fire HD10 tablet. And a shortage of human workers has a South Florida restaurant turning to robots. The owner said she had a hard time finding help during the pandemic, so now robots Peanut, Beavis, and Butthead will help lead guests to tables, and get this, they even sing happy birthday to them. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Beavis?
Beavis, Butthead, and
Peanut. Yeah, lead me to my table.
Huh. They'll show up for work, right?
Yeah, oh, that's true. Mm-hmm. They will not fail.
Let's check traffic at just about 5:19. Good morning, Samuel.
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Good to see you. Good to see everyone out there. Loop 410 at Fredericksburg Road flowing well this morning, but we do have some issues not too far from there this morning. But as you can see, traffic flowing well here and then on the frontage road as well. But the issue we still have on the board here is a crash. This is Fredericksburg Road at Wurzbach Road. so here close to the medical center area. So watch out for that. Hopefully that gets cleared up fairly shortly. Looking across the rest of the area, wake up there, computer. Things looking okay. We did have some delays up here on 35 near New Braunfels, but those seem to be clearing up as well this morning, so that's a good thing. But just let's take a look here between 410 and New Braunfels in both directions, 19 minutes in each direction. Actually had some delays here near the county line, but that has also cleared up this morning, so things are flowing well for now, guys.
You never know what you will find along the banks of the Guadalupe River.
Nice.
Case in point, yeah. I have no idea what that wildflower is, but it is awfully pretty. Any ideas?
None. It just looks surprisingly tropical.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love that shade of kind of a, what is that, almost beet colored.
Yeah, folks, if you know, let us know.
Yeah, please do. Okay, nothing is really going on right now. It's very warm. It's very humid. I mean, these temperatures in the low 70s, that's kind of like the average low temperature when we get into late July and early August. And yeah, humidity, you can just about cut it with a knife. Yesterday, a lot of cloud cover hung on in there, and that helped keep temperatures in the upper 70s and some low 80s. Now, we did get mid 90s down there to the southwest, and then we're looking at some upper 90s, and triple digits aren't out of the question down there around Laredo, and we'll be about 10 degrees hotter today. And with that extra heat in there, that really kind of primes the pump, if you will, as far as getting something to develop later on this afternoon in regards to severe weather. And there is the severe threat for the northwestern half of our area, right along I-35. That's the slight risk, 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. High winds, hail, large hail are going to be the biggest threats. An isolated tornado can't be completely ruled out, and is not likely at all, but then also some heavy rain in portions of the hill country as well. So throughout the day, I've got a mention of a sprinkly shower here and there. Just you can't completely rule it out with all this moisture getting pumped on in here. Might even see 1 or 2 of them around this morning. But then by this afternoon, there's some of those thunderstorms developing out there in the hill country. Notice how, and this is the trend where, and again, like the slight risk for severe weather, most everything is going to be staying up in portions of the hill country. They will get going, especially later on tonight, and some of those heavier downpours in parts of the hill country. And this is going to continue on in the overnight hours, and we'll still keep some rain around throughout the day or throughout the morning hours tomorrow. And then even going into Friday and Saturday, we can't completely rule it out. Here's a different computer model going a little further into the future. An upper low is going to kind of develop here, and that's going to work its way up in our direction. So that's going to keep the chance for some rain around through Saturday. And this model even has it even into early Sunday morning, which isn't necessarily a bad thing as far as getting some extra rain around here. So that we can be thankful for, and let's hope that we do get some throughout the next few days. Pretty good contrast in temperatures around the country. You got 40s and 70s. So it's a classic springtime situation where you have those conflicting air masses, and you get some other factors to help develop some of the showers and thunderstorms around here, which is the situation today. 80. A shower or two, again, just a mention of it throughout the day. And then later on this afternoon, a few showers. Then out to the west, the thunderstorm is going to start to develop late this afternoon. 88 for a high temperature. Then tonight, we get the better chance for showers and thunderstorms. Some of those potentially on the severe side. Heavy rain northwest in the hill country, and then front moves through. It's going to keep us at 80 tomorrow. Get rid of some of the humidity, but we'll still keep a few rain chances around even through Saturday and perhaps early on Sunday. Pleasant temperatures, but then the heat gets cranked back up first of next week.
Just in time for May.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Mike.
Just about 5:23.
And still ahead in your morning spotlight, details on Billie Eilish's sophomore album. Plus, there's a brand new short film based on Disney and Pixar's animated movie Soul.
Pick 3 numbers, 384 Fireball 5, Daily 4 1784 Fireball 8.
Cash 5 looking at 7, 11, 13, 22, 34. And your Mega Millions, 15, 22, 30, 41, 42, Mega Ball 25, Mega Flyer 4. Good luck.
5:26 in your morning entertainment news. Oscar winners enjoying the fruits of victory, plus the return of a young Grammy winner.
Here's CNN's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
I had a dream. I got everything I wanted.
Billie Eilish fans are getting what they want, new music. The 19-year-old Grammy winner's sophomore album, Happier Than Ever, is due out July 30th, with the first single arriving this Thursday morning. More details on the 16-track studio album at BillieEilish.com.
You are mindless blank slates.
We are mindless blank slates.
Here's your first look at 22 vs. Earth, set before the events of the Oscar-winning animated film Soul. Tina Fey returns to voice 22 in the short film, which debuts Friday on Disney+.
What the Nomads are doing is not that different than what the Pioneers did.
Some of this year's Oscar winners got an immediate boost. Voodoo and Fandango Now report sales of Best Picture winner Nomadland rose 129% the day after the Oscars compared to a week earlier. The Father, starring Best Actor winner Anthony Hopkins, rose 67% on the streaming services, and sales of Another Round, which won Best International Feature Film, went up 600%. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Steph tried to download the new Billie Eilish
album.
Yes, You've got a couple tracks?
Yeah, so she has a couple of tracks on there, and I guess when it's all released, it'll all come through. So I'm like, I'm waiting.
You're waiting. 5:28 on your Wednesday morning.
And still ahead on GMSA, a preview of what a judge is expected to decide regarding the release of body camera video related to the deadly shooting of Anthony Brown Jr. in North Carolina.
I will tell you how nurses out there can get a free burrito courtesy of Chipotle.
Hi, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is April 28th.
Glad you are with us on this early Wednesday morning. Mike Osterhage is here with a look at our forecast, and didn't see a lot of storm activity overnight into this morning, but you said, please don't let your guard down going into tonight.
Right. We always talk about how there's kind of a lid, a cap in the atmosphere, and sometimes it takes a lot of energy to break through that, and that just wasn't around yesterday. However, today, temperature is going to be even warmer, and you get a lot more heat going, and that adds a lot of potential fuel to the furnace, and that's going to be a much better chance. There is going to be a much better chance to have that lid broken in the atmosphere and get some of those strong storms out there. 74 degrees right now. That's about what the normal low temperature is in late July, August. It is humid out there. It is very warm. We've got a breeze out of the southeast at about 13 miles per hour. Excuse me. Which is really preventing a lot of widespread fog. We do have a couple of spots, though. Rock Springs down to 1 mile visibility, 5 Eagle Pass, 4 in Del Rio, and 9 miles visibility at New Braunfels. So we'll just have to kind of watch out for that. And today, 80 at noon, 88 for a high temperature. Again, a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms are going to start to develop well out to the west by late this afternoon, and then they're going to start to work their way across the area, and we'll have more showers and thunderstorms around here tonight. Breezy conditions as well. The majority of the heavy thunderstorms going to be to the west of I-35. This is where the slight risk is for severe storms. It does include most all of Bexar County, San Antonio, New Braunfels, going up into San Marcos and Austin. Also, some heavy rain potential is there in portions of the hill country. And again, that's going to be later on tonight and then kind of lingering into the overnight hours. We do have a front moving through tomorrow, which is going to be getting rid of some of the humidity, but we'll still keep some rain chances around. Not necessarily a bad thing. We'll take a closer look at the weekend coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Samuel King. Anything big going on, sir?
Not too much now, Mike. We did have a crash on Fredericksburg Road a little bit earlier as we take a look at the maps here, but that has just cleared, come off the board here. Still a small delay there at Wurzbach Road where that crash scene was, but otherwise things looking fine right now. Looking at some travel times from across the area, 24 minutes coming in on I-10 from Boerne, 19 minutes coming in on US 90 into downtown or close to it on US 19 minutes there, and 17 minutes on 35 from Lytle area into downtown San Antonio. And here's a look at Loop 410 at 151, traffic building there, but for the moment, still flowing well. We'll have another update coming up.
We have an update on late breaking news now. San Antonio police investigating a murder in the middle of a neighborhood street.
They say someone shot and killed a man in the 500 block of Sterling Avenue near Martin Luther King and Interstate 10. Katrina Weber is there now with a live report. And Katrina, have police been able to learn anything more about the shooter?
It seems that they just have that basic information that we reported earlier. information they got from witnesses here that the shooter was in a dark-colored car, possibly an SUV. The police have been out here since about 4 o'clock this morning. They still have this area blocked off, the 500 block of Sterling. This is where they say the man was shot and killed. They say he was walking along the sidewalk when that vehicle pulled up. As soon as the man leaned in, police say someone inside started shooting. They shot him, firing several times, and then continued shooting as they drove away. It appears that he was shot with a rifle, according to police. Now, they've been here talking to neighbors, trying to collect whatever evidence they can about what happened. But again, all that they've shared with us so far is that this person was in that dark-colored vehicle, possibly an SUV. Reporting live on the east side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Katrina, thank you. The White House says President Joe Biden will nominate Harris County Sheriff Ed Gonzalez to serve as Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Gonzalez, a critic of former President Trump's immigration policies, and at one point withdrew his department from a controversial ICE program. Gonzalez criticized the Trump administration for its stances on border and emergency management issues and family separations. Gonzalez elected sheriff of Harris County back in 2016 and has a decades-long career in law enforcement. If confirmed, Gonzalez would be the first politically appointed director in years. ICE never had a Senate-confirmed director during the 4 years of the Trump administration.
You now have until 2023 to update your driver's license to comply with federal Real ID standards. The Department of Homeland Security is extending the deadline for the enforcement of the Real ID requirements because of the pandemic. DHS said only 43% of U.S. IDs are currently compliant. The deadline was previously set for October 1st of this year. The new deadline is May 3rd, 2023. Once enforcement is in effect, travelers flying commercially in the U.S. will need to have a Real ID, which is marked by a star on the top of the card.
1 week ago today, Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed by police in Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
Now a judge will hear a petition to get the sheriff's office to release all of their footage from the incident. And as CNN's Brett Conway reports, there's a lot of anxiety and frustration leading up to this morning's decision.
Release the tape! The real tape! They want to know what happened the day Andrew Brown Jr. was shot and killed by sheriff's deputies. Today, a North Carolina court will consider this petition, filed by 16 media companies, pushing for the release of body camera footage from that day. The family, protesters, and civil rights advocates have been making the same plea. But there's a 2016 North Carolina law that says recordings made by law enforcement agencies are not public records, which means none of it can be released to the public without a court order, even by law enforcement.
Our county attorney has filed a motion with the court to release the body camera video.
That was Monday. The same day, the family watched a small portion of the video captured on one deputy's body camera. Family members can view video without a court order.
It's a video that no son should see, dealing with his father.
But Brown's son and the family's attorneys say there are still too many questions about what happened last week.
We would like to see all the body cam footage. We would like any dash cam that's available, just any information that we can provide to this family.
We don't know why it's taking so long.
The court is not required to grant the request, but
I'm hopeful that we will see it. We will get an order.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
And time now is 5:38 and about 74 degrees right now.
Still ahead, Chipotle is saying thank you to healthcare workers out there. We'll tell you how you can get one of their burritos for free.
Also next, during Child Abuse Prevention Month, we are taking a closer look at what our lawmakers are doing to make a difference.
Outside with live cam, Mike is saying we could see severe weather in the overnight hours into early tomorrow morning. What is the threat specifically? He'll talk about that coming up in your local forecast. .541 child abuse is a big problem in our community. From raising awareness about the issue to understanding its impact to educating the public about how to prevent it, there is still a lot of work to do.
Some of that work is happening at the legislative level, and as Isis Romero shows us, is just one of many efforts to shine a light on child abuse.
He was only 5 years old when he died from abuse and neglect at the hands of his father, stepmother, and step-grandmother. And today, the grandmother of Josiah Williams remembers a boy and his bright smile, but recognizes more could have been done to save him.
To stand up and make the people in charge of Texas laws change them and make them stricter, because classes aren't going to help very many of them.
State Representative Ina Minjares has been vocal at the state level about enacting legislation pertaining to child abuse. The focus, she says, is better laws to protect children and their families.
This is a community-based problem. We all need to recognize that we all somehow have to brainstorm. We all have to give some kind of input, because these kids are part of our community. And when the state of Texas takes custody of these kids, you know, in some way, we're all responsible.
Minjares says she's authored 2 bills this session, House Bills 135 and 682, which have passed the House and are now in the state Senate. Both bills aim to address problems with the investigative process when a parent is accused of abuse or neglect, and are directed at keeping families together, which would minimize unnecessary removals. Though she recognizes it's a complicated issue, she says in some cases, removal of children from their homes is absolutely necessary.
Consider the fact that there are children that do need to be removed for their safety. You know, there is a percentage of children that die, right, as a result of abuse and neglect, and we can't ignore that.
As for Josiah's grandmother, she's keeping his spirit alive by giving back through donation drives and volunteering, but tasking lawmakers and the public to do their part too.
And one person can't do it alone, but together we can all make a difference.
To learn more about child abuse during the pandemic, its impact, and what can be done moving forward, join us for a live stream town hall today at 2 p.m. on KSAT.com. Join Patty Santos and I as we take your questions to the experts. Isis Romero, KSAT 12 News.
544, 74 degrees.
And coming up next, how a fast food Mexican food chain is saying thank you to many healthcare workers across the nation. And welcome back. It's 5:46. In your morning consumer headlines, Chipotle giving away 250,000 burritos to healthcare workers. The Mexican food chain says it is giving out 250,000 codes for free burritos to nurses and medical providers. Chipotle's chief marketing officer said it's all about supporting healthcare workers as the pandemic continues. You have to sign up to get a code starting tomorrow at noon on Chipotle's website. The offer comes ahead of May 6th, National Nurses Day. Chipotle is also letting people thank healthcare workers on a virtual wall on its website.
Beyond Burgers are about to taste more like real beef. Beyond Meat says it's tweaked its recipe and is set to deliver a new burger. The new burger has fewer calories, less fat than the current version. This marks the first major revision of the Beyond Burger since it was introduced back in 2016. The company says it will continue improving its product, and there'll be definitely another new version at some point in the future. The newest Beyond Burger hits grocery store shelves next week, and restaurants serving the product will get it sometime in June. Retail sales of plant-based meat jumped 28% over the last year.
Goldfish crackers are turning up the heat. Goldfish is teaming up with the Frank's Red Hot brand for a limited edition spicy cracker. Campbell Snacks, which owns Goldfish, says the new snack comes after it received 35,000 requests for a hot and spicy flavor. You can expect to see the Red Hot crackers on store shelves across the U.S. in May. In the meantime, there's a free giveaway contest on Instagram. You can check out @GoldfishSmiles for details. Campbell Snacks says you can also expect to see Goldfish in additional unique flavors in the near future.
Red Hot Goldfish.
That might be a thing.
It's going to be a thing. 5:48 on your Wednesday.
Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King.
I keep laughing at the animation. It just...
That's what I was laughing at. The little goldfish on fire. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but things are looking fine on the roadways right now. Not too many issues across the board in the area right now. I had a crash earlier on Fredericksburg Road. That is cleared up, and also most of the overnight construction has cleared up. Again, though, let's go up here to Bernie, give you an early heads up. Again, this is Friday, full closure of the I-10 main lanes from State Highway 46 to Scenic Loop. They're doing some bridge demolition work and some bridge work there, and that requires them to close the main lanes. Traffic will be on the frontage roads there, and you can read more about this right now at ksat.com. Again, this doesn't begin though until Friday night, full closure this weekend, but just wanted to give folks an early heads up. I-10 right now coming in from Bernie looks fairly normal, 23, 24 minutes in both directions. Once you're inside 1604, 11 to 12 minutes. So fairly normal traffic this morning, moving well. Here's a look at 281 at Loop 410 near the airport, and the stuff flowing well there too this morning. So things looking relatively fine. If you're someone who needs to head out and run some errands or pick up some coffee before work, now is a good time to head out, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you, Samuel. Mr. Osterhage, what's flowering behind you there?
Lilies.
Lilies.
Very pretty.
Yeah, very pretty. I love that shade of orange there.
It always helps when they put it in the description because we don't always know.
No. We appreciate it, but we don't know.
It's a flower. It's pretty. It's blooming. Yeah. So a lot of folks are kind of showing off all the beautiful blooms and everything, and hopefully we get some rain to help out with the flowers and the lawns and everything else. I was upstairs looking out the window of my lawn. It's like, oh, goodness gracious. So, yeah, it's not a pretty sight, but we do need some rain. We do have some in the forecast, and the chance of rain has been extended a little bit. More on that in a second. Lots of clouds. We've had a few showers overnight. There may be a couple of damp spots on the roads here and there. And computer model throughout the rest of today, not much is really going to be going on. We may actually see a little bit of sun here and there, which is going to obviously heat things up. And with all this humidity, and that's really going to help to destabilize the atmosphere. And so we get a little sunshine, and that's going to enhance even the chances for some of these showers and thunderstorms. And by about dinner time, we'll start to see some of those developing out there in the hill country, and they will continue to kind of spring up throughout the rest of the evening hours. And most everything, as you can see, from pretty much, if you had to kind of just say one direction to lean, it's going to be out in the hill country as far as showers and thunderstorms. Now, that doesn't mean more won't come down here, but pretty much northwest of I-35 is going to be the best opportunity for some of these showers and storms, even some heavy downpours in parts of the hill country. We'll have a few leftover showers tomorrow morning, and then even throughout the rest of the day, there may be one or two of them, and that's going to be the situation going into even Friday and Saturday because of another disturbance coming on in here. But as far as tonight, we've got the chance for severe weather, the slight risk, which is a 2 out of 5 on the scale. High winds, large hail are going to be the biggest threats with this. And, well, as far as any flooding, there is that chance, just because, I mean, some minor, because we are going to have the chance for some heavy downpours in parts of the hill country. Obviously, a lot of cloud to ground lightning, and there is a very small chance for an isolated tornado to spin up. Not a great chance at it, but you just can't completely rule that out. And then there is the chance for rain, you know, on average about 1 to 3 inches in portions of the hill country that we're going to be going into, and this would be later on today going into tonight. Now, as far as the humidity, we will have a front moving on through here. We're going to stay very humid throughout the rest of the day. That's very unstable air, and you heat it up, and so that's what's going to be helping out with some of those showers and thunderstorms. But then by about mid-morning, we will start to see a front move on through here. It's not going to be a real immediate drop in the humidity, but we will get somewhat of a break in the humidity and slightly cooler temperatures as we go into not only tomorrow, but also the first part of the weekend. 80 today at noon. A couple of showers are possible here and there. And then a high today up to 88 showers. A few thunderstorms developing out to the west later on, late afternoon, about dinner time, and then more this evening. And in the overnight hours, again, the chances there for some to be strong or severe out to the west and northwest, mainly in the hill country. Here in town, there is that chance too, but hill country is the best place to see anything, as well as the heavy rain. Tomorrow, some leftover showers in the morning. We'll still keep a few showers around here even into Saturday, which again is not necessarily a bad thing. Temperatures in the low 80s, a little bit lower humidity as well.
Lower humidity. Wow, that sounds nice right now.
Yes, it's humid out there.
Yes, it is.
It's
Be
about
prepared.
as humid as it gets. Thank you, Mike. 5:53.
Let's take a look at your winning lotto numbers. We have pick 3, 384, Fireball 5, Daily 4, 1784, Fireball 8.
Cash 5 numbers 7, 11, 13, 22, 34, and Mega Millions. Here are your numbers, players. 15, 22, 30, 41, 42, Mega Ball 25, Mega Plier 4. Good luck. Right, that's about 3 till. Installing smoke alarms in your house can reduce your chances of dying in a fire by half. On Saturday, May 8th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., the American Red Cross serving Central and South Texas, in partnership with the San Antonio Fire Department, will fulfill requests to install free smoke alarms here in San Antonio. You can schedule an appointment and get more information at ksatcommunity.com. Glad you're with us. According to a new study, nearly half of Americans say not having Wi-Fi would absolutely ruin their vacation. Ahead on GMSA, we'll show you what other situations people say can lead to the biggest vacation disasters. Dry roads out there right now. Traffic building at 35 at Evans. Samuel King will have a traffic update. And we're again talking about the potential for some overnight severe weather tonight into tomorrow morning. Mike will have the latest on that as well coming up at the top of the hour. You're watching GMSA.
A second shot at protecting the community. I'm Stephen Cavazos, coming up this morning on GMSA, where you can get your single-dose shot of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. We're taking a closer look at what lawmakers are doing to make changes and a difference.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, it is very humid out there, but hey, that humidity will pay off. We are expecting some rain.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And just like that, it is Hump Day. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, April 28th.
Happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining us, and be prepared for that humidity when you step outside.
And we're not done quite with the rain and storm chances yet. Mike Osterhage joins us now. Nothing really materialized overnight here in South Central Texas, but you still have us on alert going into tonight and tomorrow morning.
Right. In the wee hours tomorrow morning, but you talk about the humidity, and it always feels like it's kind of weighing down on you. Humid air is actually lighter than dry air is, molecular and all that stuff. And that's why we always say it's very unstable, and then you heat it up. And so that's why in a situation like this, we can get some pretty good thunderstorms to develop. So, and as the afternoon heats up, we get a little bit of sunshine, and it's really going to kind of, add that fuel to things there. We don't really have much going on right now. There's nothing showing up on radar right now. The only thing, as far as any sort of inconvenient weather's out there in Rock Springs, 1 mile visibility, 3 Del Rio, 4 Junction. So just a little bits of fog just out to the west right now. And then later on tonight, the severe threat, and that's going to be pretty much west of I-35. The marginal risk just to the east of that green shaded area, but the yellow areas where high winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats with that. Obviously, a lot of cloud to ground lightning. Also, we got to watch out for some heavy rain in portions of the hill country. So a little bit of flooding in some of the low-lying areas is going to be a possibility with some of these storms later on tonight. Temperatures this morning are pretty much going to be staying steady, which is what you'd expect about late July, August, and it's being in the low 70s right now. And then also it is going to be breezy today, wind out of the southeast about 15, 20 miles per hour, gusting from there. We'll make it up to 80 today at noon. A shower is possible, and then 1 or 2 of them, and then especially later on this afternoon is when thunderstorms are going to get rolling well out to the west, and they'll start to develop as we go into the evening hours. Got a front moving on through here tomorrow. That's going to get rid of some of the humidity, but the rain chances will still stick around into a portion of the weekend. Details coming up in a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority Samuel King. It's been kind of quiet up to so far.
Yeah, things looking pretty good there on the roads this morning, Mike. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone out there. Starting with some travel times. You're coming into downtown San Antonio. All of these from Bernie, 24 minutes on I-10, from Bulverde, 27 minutes on 281, and 25 minutes coming in from New Braunfels to downtown San Antonio on I-35. Taking a look at the maps this morning, things looking pretty fine. Green all around, even including up here in New Braunfels. We had some delays on 35 southbound earlier this morning, but those have cleared for the moment. But still, of course, watch out for the construction in that area. And here's a look at Loop 410 and 151 on the west side. Traffic building there, but looking fine this morning. And we'll have another update coming up. Mark, Stephanie.
San Antonio police are wondering who would kill a man described as a neighborhood nice guy. He was gunned down in the middle of the street in the 500 block of Sterling.
That's near Martin Luther King and Interstate 10. Our Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Now, Katrina, we understand the victim is someone who is well liked.
Well, that's what police told me, that just about everyone around here knew him and considered him to be a nice guy. It seems, though, that someone had a problem with him and shot him dead around 4 this morning. Police say the shooter fired about a half dozen times, hitting and killing the victim. The witnesses told police that man had been walking along the sidewalk in the 500 block of Sterling when a dark vehicle, possibly an SUV, pulled up and stopped. They say as soon as the man leaned into the vehicle, someone started shooting at him with a rifle. Police say that gunfire continued as the vehicle then sped away. The man who was killed, according to police, appears to have been in his 40s, and they say it's possible he was homeless, although, again, a lot of people in this neighborhood did know him. Reporting live on the east side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Another shot at hope. WellMed will resume administering single-dose shots of the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine starting today, following a brief pause.
Stephen Cavazos is live at the Elvira Cisneros Senior Community Center with what we can expect. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mark and Stephanie. WellMed has around 1,945 J&J doses available here in San Antonio. And as you mentioned today, they will resume administering the vaccine following that brief pause at 2 locations. Now, the first is here at the Elvira Cisneros Senior Community Center. The second at the Elisa Trevino Lopez Senior One-Stop Center. Again, this will be happening today. The lines will open at 8 this morning and will remain open until 8 in the evening, 7 days a week. Appointments can be made by calling 833-968-1745 or made online. Now, the FDA and CDC will, of course, continue to investigate any potential risks of this vaccine. But for now, they say that the vaccine is safe to use and the benefits outweigh any of those potential risks. Reporting live this morning, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Stephen. We're now going to the latest on the coronavirus here in Bexar County. Health officials announcing 137 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 1 new death.
It brings our total number of local cases to 216,476. Total number of deaths, 3,351. 270 patients remain hospitalized, with 78 in the ICU, 49 on ventilators as of this morning. A foster care crisis taking place here in Texas, and one local nonprofit is hoping for a better solution to solve the loss of beds over time. Boysville Incorporated CEO Paula Tucker says the state shut down 1,000 residential treatment center beds. The strain has increased for those who help with foster services. She says she also thinks lack of shelter training and lack of support to shelters in general are contributing factors.
Best thing is for us to come together and have a strategy on how we're going to care for the kids in our Bexar County and in the state of Texas. We're all in the same boat trying to figure out what's best for children who are hard to place.
Tucker says she hopes teamwork from everyone will prevent more shelters from closing due to deficiencies.
And happening this afternoon, Isis Romero and Patty Santos will be discussing the current crisis of child abuse and neglect in our community with a panel of experts. That panel will be answering your questions live, and they'll explain the signs of abuse as well as how to report it and where to seek help. Our Child Abuse Awareness Town Hall is today from 2 to 3 p.m. You can stream it live at KSAT.com or on your KSAT TV app.
Early voting for the May election has now come to a close. There was a huge turnout. There were 28,000 more early voters in this election cycle than in 2019 on the ballot race for mayor and 10 council seats. If you didn't get out early, don't worry. Election day is coming up this Saturday, May 1st.
And one of the biggest issues on the ballot is Proposition B. Voters will decide whether the police union will keep its right to collective bargaining. For an explainer on what that means, you can still check out the latest episode of KSAT Explains Prop B. Find it at KSAT.com or your KSAT TV app.
Later this evening, President Joe Biden is preparing to address his first joint session of Congress. Among the items he will be unveiling, free daycare and free community college.
He also plans to make the temporary extension of the Affordable Care Act permanent. The cost, $200 billion. And to cover, President Biden wants to raise taxes on the wealthiest Americans. ABC News' Ike Ajachi has the latest in Washington.
This morning, President Biden is preparing for his first address to a joint session of Congress as new details emerge about a sweeping child care and education plan he's expected to unveil. ABC News has learned the bill will provide free preschool for all 3- and 4-year-old children. The White House says the average family would save $13,000. The president is also expected to call for free community college for all Americans. And he wants to make permanent the temporary extension of the Affordable Care Act, which is allowing millions of Americans to pay lower premiums during the pandemic. The White House says the plan costs $200 billion. And to pay for it, the president will call for raising taxes on the most wealthy Americans and investors. South Carolina Senator Tim Scott will deliver the Republican response to Biden's address.
Thank God for there is unity in our diversity, and I hope to talk about that a little bit tomorrow night. God bless you. See you soon.
The president's joint address to Congress will take place under heavy guard. Fencing still remains along the perimeter of the Capitol following the January 6th insurrection. Before the speech, Biden is expected to meet with Capitol staffers who were there during the riot. The White House usually keeps one cabinet member in a secure location while other members attend the speech. But because of the pandemic, only a few cabinet members will be on Capitol Hill tonight. President Biden's plan to pay for his domestic programs faces fierce criticism from Republicans. They feel stiffer taxes on corporations and investors will be a job killer. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
A segment of Northwest Side Road, commonly referred to as Dead Man's Curve due to frequent crashes, is seeing some safety improvements. Though still a work in progress, several changes have already been made on Prue Road at the request of Councilman Manny Pelaez. And more on the way. Today, white lines on the sides and a yellow center line have been added in both directions between Springtime and Cedar Park to better define the curve and travel way. There's also new signage in the area warning of the road's curve. We're told Councilman Pelaez has also requested city staff to look into guardrail extensions and new traffic signals in the area.
Time check, 10 minutes past 6, about 74 degrees.
And ahead on GMSA, imagine a robot taking your order when you go out to dinner. Why that could become a reality.
And a popular local restaurant and bakery calling it quits for good. This and more when we return.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we're at a humid 74 degrees right now, but you want to prepare for some rain later this afternoon. We're going to check in with Mike. And welcome back. It's about 6:14. Happening now on KSAT.com. Another San Antonio staple has fallen to the coronavirus. Lulu's Bakery and Cafe, located just north of downtown at North Main and East Euclid Avenue, temporarily shut down in March of last year due to the pandemic. But now the local food icon is closing its doors for good. The restaurant is placing all of its kitchen equipment up for auction to be sold off in a liquidation sale. For more details on that closure, you can head over to KSAT.com.
Spurs have a 3-game win streak, and they'll try to make it 4 in a row tonight. Cross your fingers. They've got a primetime matchup with the Heat in Miami. Tip-off set for 7 o'clock our time. The Spurs are sitting at 31-29 on the year. They're tied with Memphis for the 8th spot in the NBA Western Conference.
And things looking calm at I-10 in Frio. Let's go ahead and check in with Samuel King.
Yeah, things looking calm over most of the area this morning. Here's a look at some more travel times. 29 minutes if you're coming in from Seguin on I-10, 23 minutes from the La Vernia area to downtown on 87, and 28 minutes from the Floresville area into downtown San Antonio. Stephanie mentioned looking at the map there, not much going on here for the most part this morning, so that's a good thing. We had some issues yesterday with the rain and fog here in San Antonio, but today not too much going on. Maybe some delays there on the south side there at 1604 and Highway 16. Looking out to the east, we did have some off and on delays, and we've seen them this morning here. I-10 east of 1604 around FM 1518. They've been doing some construction work out there, but right now things are flowing well in that area. And here is a look at I-10 in Frio and the black and white, maybe looking like London or something like that. But traffic is flowing well, guys.
How rare, a TransGuide glimpse into our past.
Yeah.
All we're missing is the horse and carriage, right? Thank you, Samuel. Mike's here with more on a bizarre forecast that continues to be rather vexing. You said that there was a chance of storms overnight. Didn't really materialize, but you're now thinking it could be tonight as the big one.
Yeah, I mean, there was always the chance for severe weather both evenings, last night and then this evening. And last night things really didn't get going because there was kind of a good lid on the atmosphere, and that never really had a chance to nothing broke through it. But situation's a little more kind of leaning toward getting some better showers and thunderstorms out here as we go into the overnight hours tonight. Now, as far as well, is my little bus not going to run for me? Darn it all, it's not. Instead of a bus, how about a plane? Take a look at this. Not every day you see an F5 there going down the highway on a trailer. That's cool looking. I don't know if it's off to a museum or something like that. I would have one in my backyard, though, if I could.
Huh.
You're squinting, Mark.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out, because it looks, the silhouette of the fuselage looks like an old T-38.
Well, T-38
F5, same airframe.
Is it a double cockpit?
Right,
double cockpit, T-38 F5 single cockpit. So.
Yeah, exactly.
The two airplane geeks here.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for that. And right now it is, not visual flight rules. We've got a lot of clouds out there and nothing as far as any rain. We do have a little bit of fog well out to the west. Out there around Rock Springs, there is some fog. Visibility is down to about a mile right now. And then again, last night, going back 12 hours with the satellite radar loop, as you can see, nothing really had a chance to materialize. We did have a few showers around the area, but we had that kind of lid on things. Different situation tonight. So once again, we do still have the severe threat, the marginal risk, which is in green, which does cover over towards Seguin and then back down in toward Cotulla. Then right along 35 that gets bumped up a notch to the slight risk, and high winds and large hail, about golf ball size or bigger than that, sometimes approaching 2 inches in diameter, is going to be the threat out in the hill country, as well as some heavy rain. So later on today, now throughout the day, you can't completely rule out a sprinkly shower or two, but late this afternoon and then by about dinner time is when things are going to start to get going out there in the hill country. And that'll be into the overnight hours. We'll have a few leftover showers around tomorrow, but notice how most everything stays up there to the north. That seems to be the trend with a lot of the computer models. We'll still keep a couple of showers around maybe tomorrow on Friday. And then notice how another batch of rain moves in here on Saturday, and that's going to keep rain chances around even in through the early morning hours of Sunday. And then we'll start to clear out. And the reason for it is this low, which had looked like it was going to sort of be sticking around here and fizzle on out. Well, now it's kind of hanging tough in there. It's just going to sort of hang out a little bit in through Friday and Saturday. And as it moves in here, that's going to enhance our rain chances on into Saturday, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because, if we don't get a lot of rain tonight, even though there's a lot in the hill country for the rest of us, at least we do have that extended rain chance, if you will, in through Saturday. 80 today at noon. Couple of showers, again, are possible, although not very likely. And then 88 high temperature today, so very warm, very humid, and it looks like we've got a better chance of getting some of those thunderstorms to develop. Severe storms potentially out, especially to the north and west. And then tomorrow, 80 for a high temperature. We do have a front moving on through here, and that's going to knock temperatures down a little bit, trim some of the humidity out of here, and we'll still keep that chance of rain around. Probably a little bit better shot on Saturday and then clear on out, but they'd heat back up next week.
To welcome us, the 90-degree temperatures. Hi,
Yes.
happy May. Thanks, Mike.
6:20 on your Wednesday morning.
A shortage of hospitality workers has restaurant owners turning to robotic food servers. Details after the break.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
Attention runners, report to the starting line. Runners, report to the starter.
You don't become a runner who breaks 8 world records after age 65 without a serious support system. Kathy Martin has one in Medicare from Blue Cross Blue Shield. She won't go a day without the right card because she can't go a day without running. The Medicare coverage trusted by more doctors. This is the benefit of Blue. Learn more at benefitofblue.com.
Growing oats uses less water today so we can enjoy the future tomorrow. Delicious, creamy, Chobani Zero Sugar Oat Milk.
In this morning's GMA First Look, where's the beef? Epicurious, one of the most popular cooking websites and apps, announcing, we've cut out beef. Beef won't appear in any new Epicurious recipes. The shift solely about sustainability. Its editors explaining, we think of this decision as not anti-beef, but rather pro-planet. It's an effort to change eating habits.
It does signal that Epicurious is taking climate change seriously. This could give them some support from these socially conscious consumers.
According to the United Nations, nearly 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions come from livestock, and cattle are responsible for the majority of those emissions. Coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have more reaction to this culinary game changer. And will other food websites follow Epicurious's lead? With your GMA First Look, I'm Kaylee Hartung, ABC News, Los Angeles.
For the first time, Microsoft's Office and OneNote apps are available on Amazon's Fire tablets. The Office app combines Word, Excel, and PowerPoint into a single tablet app. Microsoft says their release was timed to coincide with the new Fire HD 10 tablet.
And a shortage of human workers has Florida restaurants turning to robot staffers. For example, you step into Mr. Q's Crab House in Hollywood, and Peanut, Beavis and Butthead will take care of your needs. They'll lead you to your table, and they will even sing happy birthday to you. Interesting.
Welcome to 2021.
That is very weird.
6:25 on your Wednesday morning.
And ahead in your next hour, you might spend a lot of time on your social media, but are you addicted? We're going to hear what researchers are saying about that.
And 3 migrant teens from the shelter at Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall are still missing this morning. We'll have the latest.
And let's take a look outside with TransGuide. There's morning there with flashing lights there at I-35 and Nogalitos, but things are moving there at Evans. We'll be right back.
San Antonio police say with only a few words spoken, someone shot and killed a man in the middle of this neighborhood street. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. I'll tell you more about it.
WellMed will resume administering the Johnson & Johnson vaccine after a brief pause. I'm Steven Cavazos, and coming up this morning on GMSA, where you can get your single-dose shot.
Our team of meteorologists was telling you about 2 chances of severe weather around here. The first did not materialize overnight, but Mike says we're not quite done with the risk just yet. Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, April 28th.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Yes, the rain is still to come, but beware of the humidity first. That's what's going to happen when you step outside.
Oh, you can't miss it. It's probably the most humid it's been around here in a long time, Mike Osterhage.
Yeah, combined with the warmest temperatures we've seen in the morning in a long time, because we're sitting where we normally would be about late July, August, when we're in the low 70s right now. And yeah, all that humidity, and that's setting the stage. And yeah, all the ingredients were in place yesterday for some of those storms to really get severe, but we just had that one thing that never fell into place. But this afternoon, it is looking like actually a better chance to see some of those storms to develop. A lot of clouds this morning. We did have some sprinkles late last night, early this morning, but there's nothing being picked up on radar as of right now. Temperatures, yeah, we're 74 in town, 76 Castroville, and 75 right now, excuse me, in Pleasanton. A little bit of fog out here to the west. Rock Springs at 1.25 miles visibility right now for Del Rio Junction 5 and Eagle Pass. So it's not real widespread. Now, later on tonight, yes, the severe threat does exist once again. The slight risk, the yellow area pretty much along I-35 does include pretty much all of Bexar County up in toward New Braunfels, San Marcos, Austin, and out into the hill country, and then a little bit lesser risk slightly further east of there. High winds and large hail are going to be the biggest threats. Now, this morning, you still can't, even though there's nothing on radar, a sprinkly shower can't be completely ruled out. A little bit of drizzle, something like that. A couple of showers this afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm, and more are going to get brewing well out to the west later on this afternoon in toward dinner time, and it's going to be very warm and humid. We're going to be in the upper 80s today, and any little bit of sunshine is really going to kind of add that potential to that severe threat. And then those storms mainly in the hill country. Some could be on the severe side, and heavy rain is also going to be something that we have to watch out for in parts of the hill country. Then still going to have a few showers here and there through the rest of the week and even into Saturday. There's another disturbance which is going to sort of hang out around here, but we will see a slight drop in humidity and also a drop in temperatures. Closer look at the first weekend of May coming up. Traffic Authority, Samuel King, what's going on, sir?
Well, Mike, good morning to you. We had some issues here at 35 at Nogalitos and San Marcos, but that seems to have cleared up here very quickly. There was a stalled vehicle there in the right shoulder approaching downtown, and let's give you a better look at this area. It's kind of up here, but that has been cleared very quickly, and that's a good thing, and traffic flowing in that area pretty well. Looking at north side, 1604. Between 35 and I-10, things looking good. 281 starting to see some delays, but not too many at this point. So right now, looking at travel times across the region, things looking fairly good. 26 minutes coming in on 35 from New Braunfels, 17 minutes coming in from Lytle, 27 minutes coming in on 281 from Bulverde. So things are looking fairly well this morning, but we'll keep an eye on things and have another update coming up. Mark, Stephanie?
Top story this morning seems someone had murder in mind when they stopped a man on an east side street. A man was shot and killed early this morning in the 500 block of Sterling, not far from Martin Luther King and Interstate 10.
Katrina Weber is there with a live report. Now, Katrina, do police know why it happened?
Now, that's one of the main questions they're still trying to answer. They say based on what witnesses told them, it looks like the victim and the shooter exchanged only a few words. The police left here just within the last couple of minutes. They wrapped up their investigation, but let me give you a look at the video from earlier. Police say that the victim was walking along the sidewalk around 4 this morning when a dark-colored vehicle, possibly an SUV, pulled up next to him and stopped. They say almost as soon as the man leaned into that vehicle, someone inside started shooting at him with a rifle. He was hit at least once and killed. But police say the person kept shooting as the SUV sped away. The man who was killed is believed to have been in his 40s. Police say it also looks like he may have been homeless, but they say he is someone who was well known and well liked by the people here. Reporting live on the east side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. After a brief pause, WellMed will resume administering single-dose shots of the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine starting today. The FDA and CDC recommended the pause after patients reported complications, but both agencies say it is safe to use.
GMSA Stephen Cavazos live at the Cisneros Senior Community Center. Stephen, were some of the complications reported?
Hey, good morning, Mark and Stephanie. Well, thrombosis and low platelet counts were reported in 6 cases, but now the FDA and CDC have said, according to data, those chances are actually low, and the vaccine is safe to use. And administration will resume that is today here at WellMed. Now, this will be at 2 locations. The first here at the Elvira Cisneros Senior Community Center, and the second at the Alicia Trevino Lopez Senior One-Stop Center. Again, this is happening today. Now, the lines will open at 8 this morning and will remain open until 8 this evening, 7 days a week. Appointments can be made by calling the number on your screen. That's 833-968-1745, or made online. The healthcare company has 1,945 J&J doses available in the community. Now, the CDC and FDA say they will continue to investigate any of those potential risks, but all in all, they say this vaccine is safe to use. And the FDA says the benefits outweigh any of those potential risks for adults that are 18 years or older. Of course, this information is on our website already at ksat.com. Head there for more information. Reporting live this morning, Stephen Cavazos, KSAT 12 News. Mark.
Child abuse is a significant problem in our community. From raising awareness about the issue to understanding its impact to educating the public about how to prevent it.
There's a lot of work to do, and some of that work is happening at the legislative level. And as Isis Romero shows us, it's just one of many efforts to shine a light on child abuse.
He was only 5 years old when he died from abuse and neglect at the hands of his father, stepmother, and step-grandmother. And today, the grandmother of Josiah Williams remembers a boy and his bright smile, but recognizes more could have been done to save him.
To stand up and make the people in charge of Texas laws change them and make them stricter, because classes aren't going to help very many of them.
State Representative Ina Minhades has been vocal at the state level about enacting legislation pertaining to child abuse. The focus, she says, is better laws to protect children and their families.
This is a community-based problem. We all need to recognize that we all somehow have to brainstorm. We all have to give some kind of input because these kids are part of our community. And when the state of Texas takes custody of these kids, you know, in some way, we're all responsible.
Minhades says she's authored 2 bills this session, House Bills 135 and 682, which have passed the House and are now in the state Senate. Both bills aim to address problems with the investigative process when a parent is accused of abuse or neglect, and are directed at keeping families together, which would minimize unnecessary removals. Though she recognizes it's a complicated issue, she says in some cases, removal of children from their homes is absolutely necessary.
Consider the fact that there are children that do need to be removed for their safety. You know, there is a percentage of children that die, right, as a result of abuse and neglect, and we can't ignore that.
As for Josiah's grandmother, she's keeping his spirit alive by giving back through donation drives and volunteering, but tasking lawmakers and the public to do their part too.
And one person can't do it alone, but together we can all make a difference.
To learn more about child abuse during the pandemic, its impact, and what can be done moving forward, join us for a live stream town hall today at 2 p.m. on KSAT.com. Join Patty Santos and I as we take your questions to the experts. Isis Romero, KSAT 12 News.
Well, the search continues for 3 migrant teens missing from the shelter at Freeman Coliseum Expo Hall. Officials from the Department of Health and Human Services say the teens left the shelter during the week of April 12th and have not been seen since. Kathy Crosby, an external affairs officer with HHS, said, quote, on rare occasions, youth leave the shelters without permission. In each circumstance, authorities are notified. Children are usually found and returned and then typically transferred to another facility, end quote. She says improvements have been made at Freeman to ensure the safety of those there.
A White House official says President Biden is set to announce $200 billion in funding for universal, publicly funded pre-K. As part of a sweeping spending package the president will unveil before his primetime address to a joint session of Congress today. The proposal will direct the funds to universal preschool for all 3- and 4-year-olds through a national partnership with states. The White House estimates the proposal will benefit 5 million children and save the average family $13,000.
You now have until 2023 to upgrade your driver's license to comply with those federal Real ID standards. Department of Homeland Security extending the deadline for the enforcement of Real ID requirements as a result of the pandemic. DHS said only 43% of U.S. IDs are currently compliant. The deadline was previously set for October 1st of this year. The new deadline, May 3rd, 2023. Once enforcement is in effect, travelers flying commercially in the U.S. will need to have a Real ID marked with a star at the top of your ID card.
And it's about 6:40 right now and about 74 degrees.
Do you feel like you're addicted to social media? When we come back, we'll weigh in on what experts are saying. The answer just might surprise you. Millions upon millions of people worldwide spend countless hours on social media, leaving many people wondering, is it an addiction?
According to a new study posted in the Journal of Behavioral Addictions, experts say most likely not, and here's why. So researchers say frequent social media use may not present or fit into traditional addictive behavior. While social media is becoming more popular, experts say the amount of attention it gets doesn't seem to correlate with any self-reported or measurable levels of addiction. Instead, researchers say much of the focus on social media use is associated with mental health, such as anxiety and depression. And when it comes to traveling, it's hard to imagine going on vacation and not using the internet or having Wi-Fi. But according to a new study by OnePoll, nearly half of Americans say not having Wi-Fi would ruin their vacation.
The whole thing? ruin the whole thing? Respondents say the only thing that would make a vacation worse is lost luggage. To top it off, the study shows 75% of Americans consider Wi-Fi access at a vacation rental a must-have. 3 in 4 said it's more important than air conditioning or laundry.
Even caffeine appears to have fallen. Wait, what? No, to a strong Wi-Fi connection for many people. When given a choice between having Netflix or caffeine while on vacation, 2 in 5 respondents said they would choose the streaming service.
All right, so here's the complete list from the study. Respondents felt were the biggest vacation disasters.
Oh my goodness.
Lost luggage, no internet access, food poisoning. It continues with
bad weather, lost credit card, and an unsafe location. Yeah, and a lost passport. That could be bad.
Getting sick, the AC is broke.
Plumbing issues, lost reservations, and a missed or delayed flight.
And bad traffic there at the bottom at 33%. Some of those, in my mind, would move way up the list in some cases, too.
Yeah, Wi-Fi is kind of in the bottom for me.
All those would be aggravations,
yes.
But no Wi-Fi. I mean, wouldn't you want to unplug? Isn't that the idea behind
I'm not gonna,
vacation?
I don't want to watch Netflix while I'm on vacation.
What do you think, Samuel?
I think it would depend if you had kids with you.
This is a good point, Samuel.
You know, I think like if you're traveling without kids, just go to a computer lab and use it. But at some point, depending on how long the vacation is, too.
Right.
This is very true.
Right. Go watch Nickelodeon online now.
But I saw that on the list there, bad traffic. Not too bad this morning here at home. Domestically, if you're traveling, around 27 minutes coming in from Pleasanton on 37, 19 minutes from Castroville on US 90, and 16 minutes on 35. Not too many issues right there. That stalled vehicle there we were telling you earlier at 35 in Nogalitos has been cleared out. But there will be some issues out here in the Hill Country. Again, an early heads up, 9 p.m. Friday, so still a couple of days here through the weekend. The main lanes of I-10 and Bernie between State Highway 46 and Scenic Loop will be closed because of bridge work. They have to demolish a bridge, and they feel the best way to do it quickly is just to close the interstate. But traffic will be on the frontage roads, and we have more on this right now at ksat.com. So you can read that ahead of Friday night. Looking on the west side, 151 traffic starting to build, as we'll show you in a minute. But between 90 and 1604, things looking good, 8 to 9 minutes. And here's how that looks on TransGuide. It is busy but flowing, and that's a good thing this morning. But this is, of course, going to continue to build in other parts of the area, too, as we get closer to 7 and 8 o'clock, guys.
Not too bad, Samuel. Thank you.
Okay, back to the vacation thing. On a very small scale, think about it's like going tubing. They always tell you, don't take your phone because you lose, you can lose it easily. And you're without it for an hour, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. And you're done. It's like, wow.
It's a nice break, I think.
It's a great break.
See, I would argue losing your ID, especially your passport, would be a bigger vacation problem than lack of access to Wi-Fi.
I think so, too.
Yeah, and if you have plumbing problems at the, hopefully, but yeah, I mean, turn it off.
It's all about perspective, I guess.
Yeah, true. So I think we're conditioned to have that thing because you have to have it. But anyway, all right, beautiful. Have you ever seen these before? Steph and I were just looking at them. Canterbury bells.
Very pretty shot by Yvonne.
Very, very pretty picture, Yvonne. And great little shape of that flower. Thank you very much for that. Beautiful colors, too. All right, it is lightening up out there, but we still, as you can see, have lots of clouds hanging around here. And we're going to see a shower or two possible today. Just a mention of it. Not really a big deal. There's nothing on radar as of right now. We had a couple of sprinkles overnight. But then, again, by dinner time, early evening, some of those storms get going out there in the Hill Country. And yes, some will become severe. There is a fairly decent chance at that. High winds and large hail are going to be the biggest threats with this. And then also some pretty hefty rain in portions of the Hill Country. And we'll still have a couple of them around here. This model tries to get a few of those thunderstorms around. But the best area to see any of the rain, the stronger storms, is going to be the further north and west you go into the Hill Country. And we'll still have a few leftover showers around tomorrow, and even going into Friday, and then there's still going to be the chance of rain going into portions of the weekend. Now, as far as the severe threat, Storm Prediction Center has the slight risk right there, pretty much along I-35 up into the Hill Country, a little bit lower risk further to the east of that. This does include San Antonio all the way up the I-35 corridor. But again, the better opportunity is going to be the further west you go, the further north and west you go. Again, hail and high winds are going to be the biggest threats. Heavy rain is also going to be an issue in portions of the hill country. 1-3 inches of rain, maybe some heavier amounts on top of that. And of course, lots of cloud to ground lightning. An isolated tornado can't be ruled out. It's not very likely, but just can't be completely ruled out in this situation. And as far as the heavy rain, out in portions of the hill country is where it's going to be, again, maybe 1-3 inches of rain on average, and then some heavier amounts on top of that. And this would be into tonight. Now, we still have rain chances, though, coming in here by, well, really through Saturday. There's a disturbance which is going to be hanging around here, and that's going to keep some rain chances around, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Nice way to start off the month of May if we could get some rain. 80 at noon. A shower or two, again, is possible, not likely. Couple of showers, but then more thunderstorms developing out to the west late this afternoon. 88 for a high temperature today, and then more of those showers, thunderstorms tonight and early tomorrow morning. The front's going to move through about mid-morning, and that'll trim some of the humidity, trim temperatures as well. So it will be pleasant the next couple of days. And yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of a good thing that we still have rain chances going into Saturday as well, and even early Sunday.
Yes, we need the rain.
It's going to heat up next week.
Thank you, Mike.
10 till right now, about 74 degrees.
And have you found yourself munching on more snacks, more than usual this year? Yes. Experts say you're not alone. Tomorrow on GMSA, how the pandemic has made Americans turn to snacking more in the last year.
Bought a new box of Twinkies yesterday.
Did you bring them to share?
3 have disappeared. Don't know what
They're
happened.
MIA.
Don't remember any of that. News you need to know before you go, coming up right here on GMSA.
He was well liked by almost everyone in this neighborhood. That's what police say about a man who was shot and killed overnight. Good morning, I'm Katrina Weber. It seems that at least one person did have a problem with him, though, the killer. Officers answering a 911 call about 4 o'clock this morning found the man dead in the middle of the street here in the 500 block of Sterling. They say witnesses told them he had been walking along the sidewalk around 4 this morning when someone in a dark-colored vehicle, possibly an SUV, stopped. Police say almost as soon as the man leaned into the vehicle, someone inside started firing a rifle. He was hit at least once and died. The police believe the man who was killed was in his 40s and possibly homeless, but again, they say he's someone who was well known to people here. Reporting from the east side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Things looking a little quiet on the roads, but we do have some issues here and there. There is a new crash there on the west side, but that is in some residential neighborhoods, not on the main highway. We do have some slowdowns downtown. You're down to 32 miles per hour at the Y there. Looking at some other parts of the area, and here's a look at that traffic there. Mike, building there downtown and some cloudy skies this morning.
Yeah, at least we don't have any really damp roads. We had a couple of sprinkles late last night, early this morning. You know, you might see a little sprinkle here or there. Don't be surprised. The temperatures are about what they would be in late July, August, in the low to mid 70s. 80 at noon, 88 for a high temperature. Kind of breezy today. Showers and thunderstorms will develop out to the west late this afternoon and tonight. And of course, we do have that slight risk for severe storms. San Antonio along I-35 into the hill country. High winds and hail are going to be the biggest threats.
All right, and it's game day. Spurs in Miami tonight. Good luck, guys.
Yes, go Spurs, go. And thanks for joining us today. We'll see you back here at 9.